Sheldon Hutchinson. I'm head track coach at Maricopa High School and also owner of CAP Training. I am a exercise science major from the University of Nebraska. I also have my master's in education as well. Today I'll be talking about proper running form and things you should do in order to stay safe while running. For someone who's just starting off running, I usually tell them, I recommend times. I don't usually throw distances at them because I want them to, be able to survive at this. I tell them to go out for the first week is usually an easier pace. Just go out, test it for 10-15 minutes. Usually 10 to 15 minutes at an easy pace, a person will probably get somewhere close to a mile. Especially if it's an easy pace that they can breathe and they can actually, have a conversation. The next week I tell them to pick up the pace where it's a little bit more uncomfortable and their legs have actually gotten a little bit more impact. So they're basically training two things in that first week. Trying to figure out what their pace is and also trying to get their muscles to be a little bit more accustomed to the kind of impact that they're receiving while they're running. There's a lot of force being generated on the body. In that second week when they pick up the pace, you're trying to say if they can get a little bit over a mile in that 10-15 minutes, maybe mile and a half. Third week, definitely try to start giving them target distances, hey, hit 2 miles, maybe 3 miles, because now you're trying to get them into an exercise bout where they're running for 30 minutes or more. I usually tell people that are running about their breathing technique that they should try to stay relaxed while running, especially if they're just trying to get into shape. Erratic breathing usually causes less oxygen exchange within the lungs, so you're not taking in as much oxygen as you think you are if you're breathing really, frantically. That kind of breathing actually causes more oxygen deprivation, almost kind of puts your body into like a hyperventilative state. So what I recommend people do is stay relaxed and breathe in, take deep, controlled breaths while they're doing an exercise bout. There's a lot of debate about that. I know harder surfaces are harder on the joints, but it usually is an issue because of improper running form. I tend to tell people to go and run on grassy areas because it has a little bit more cushion. Only problem is it's also uneven, which causes your foot to pronate, supinate, plantar flex, dorsiflex, so you get a lot of rotation within the ankle. And if a person's not strong enough, then they can develop a lot of ankle injuries. Also, you can find that they will develop shin splints from the rotation of the ankle. So what I tell people is if you're gonna run on concrete, make sure you're running on concrete all the time. If you're gonna run on the road, make sure you're running on the road all the time. If you're running on the track, try to run on the track all the time. So you keep the surface consistent so your body has time to adapt to it. When you're switching surfaces a lot, you tend to find that kind of switch back and forth tends to trigger shin splints because your step, your gait is actually different with every surface you're on. Your body reacts differently to that surface. The amount of force that you're generating off the ground is slightly different, and the amount of force that you're putting into the ground is slightly different. So it does create some problems when you're jumping back and forth all the time. Just remember, if you're going to go running, you want to stay safe, stay hydrated, make sure you're doing your proper stretch routine before and after. Definitely make sure you're keeping the weather in mind. If it's too hot, stay covered up. Don't get yourself burned. If you need any more tips or want to see how other athletes do it, you can follow us at CAP Training on Instagram. And if you have any questions, just send me a message. Thank you.